Hello everyone, in this video I will go over my solution to the problem named trash bins taken from yesterday's Google Kickstart round. So this problem is an excellent problem which introduces you to dynamic programming in a simple way, because in this problem we actually use some dynamic programming like computation, but it's actually a simple problem. So in this problem we are basically given a street with n houses in it. The first house is at position 1, the second house is at position 2, and the ith house is at position I. The distance between houses I and j is the absolute value of I minus j, and some of these houses have bins in front of them. So we are given a string s of length n which tells us which houses have bins in front of them, and if a owner has such a bin in front of it, so if the ith character in the string is 1, then it means that the ith house has a trash bin in front of it. So this means that the owner of the house does not have to walk anywhere when they want to take their trash out. However, for the owners which do not have trash bins in front of them, they have to go to the nearest house to them which has a trash bin. So for each house we need to find out which trash bin is nearest to it, and what is the distance to that trash bin, and we need to print out what is the sum of distances that each owner has to take. So for example, in the first test case, n is 3, there are three houses, and all the houses have a trash bin in front of them, so 0 is the answer because none of the owners will have to walk. In the second example, the second owner will go to the first trash bin, the third owner will go to the second trash bin, or basically this value. So these two owners take cost 2 respectively. The fourth owner, or basically this owner will go, the fifth owner will go to the fourth owner and he'll have a cost of 1. So the total cost so far is 3. And the last owner will go to the fourth owner and he'll have a cost of 2. So the total cost is 3 plus 2, which is 5. And you can verify that this is the correct output. And now let's try to solve this problem using a key observation. So the key observation is that for each house number I in the street, we need to find the closest house to it. So to do this, let's find the closest house to the left and the closest house to the right. So how do we find the closest house to the left and to the right? To be able to find the closest house to the left and to the right, let's store it using a dynamic programming way, or if you don't know what dynamic programming is, I'll show you how we can do it. And let's find the minimum of these two distances. So the first value is L of I, which represents the closest house to the left. So more formally, this is the largest index j, which is less than I and which has a trash bin in front of it. So the closest house with a bin to the left and to the right respectively. So L of I represents the largest j which is less than I, or less than or equal to I, such that it has a trash bin, and that means that house will be closest to us. And R of I is the largest, or is basically the smallest index j greater than or equal to I, such that Sj is 1, and basically this means that it's the closest house to the right which has a bin. And to compute L of I and R of I, note that if the string I is 1, so if S of I is 1, then this means that L of I is equal to R of I is equal to I, because the closest house to either side will just be I, and this will be our base case. So we'll just initialize all the Li and Ri values in this way, and the following recurrence holds, or basically the following computation holds. L of I is going to be a minimum of, or is basically going to be L of I minus 1 if S of I is not equal to 1, and R of I is going to be R of I plus 1. The reason being, L of I minus 1 represents the closest house to the left of the house I minus 1. So that means that if I doesn't have a trash bin, we need to go to the left. That's why we take L of I minus 1. And similarly, if I does not have a trash bin, then we need to go to the right. So that's why we take R of I plus 1. And basically this recurrence holds. And you can verify with the help of this example that we'll get L of 2 is equal to 1, L of 3 is equal to 1, then L of 5 is equal to 4, and L of 6 is equal to 4. Similarly, R of 2 is equal to 4, r of 3 is equal to 4, r of 5 is going to be infinity, and r of 6 is going to be infinity. So we also need to initialize those values. So I'll show you in the code how we can do that. And basically the answer is going to be the sum of the minimum distance which we need to go. So from a position I to L of I, we need to go I minus L of I, and from a position I to R of I, we need to go R of I minus I. The reason being, from I to L of I, we need to go I minus L of I, and from I to R of I, we need to go R of I minus I, and we take the summation for all I going from 1 to n. And now I'll show you the code implementing the same idea. So in the code, I take in the value of t, which is the number of test cases. For each test case, I take in the value of n and the string s. Then I store the values L, R and dp. dp basically stores this quantity, the minimum of I minus L of I, comma Ri minus I. So that's what dp stores. So initially, if s of 0 is 1, we set L of 0 to be R of 0 to be 0, or basically to be 0, because 0 is equal to I. And if s of n minus 1 is 1, we set L of n minus 1 to be R of n minus 1 to be n minus 1. Then for each value of I going from 1 to n minus 1, I choose 1 because L of I minus 1 won't be defined if it's 0. So L of minus 1 is not defined. Also, initially all the values of L is minus infinity, all the values of R is plus infinity, all the values of dp is a big number, 2 into infinity. And the reason why we chose this is because if there is no trash bin to the left of any particular index, then we know that we can't go any further to the left. That's why we set a large negative number. And similarly, if there's no trash bin to the right, we set it to a large positive number. So then we evaluate the recurrence. If s of I is 1, L of I is I, otherwise L of I is L of I minus 1. Then similarly, we update the value of Ri by going from all I going from n minus 2 to 0. If there's a trash bin on the ith house, we set R of I to be I, otherwise R of I is I plus 1, R of I plus 1, and this goes from n minus 2 because again R of n minus 1 plus 1 is R of n, which is not defined, and that's why we go from n minus 2 up to 0. And in the end, we just store the answer to be the sum of all these dp of I values, and dp of I basically represents I minus L of I. So I just use long to keep it safe from overflowing, and basically L of I minus L of I and R of I minus I will represent the two distances, and we take the minimum of these two distances and add it to the answer, and in the end we print the answer in the appropriate manner. And you can verify that this code does get accepted. So I hope you like this problem and my solution for this problem. As you could see, this problem introduced us to the basic concept of dynamic programming. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you.